Hi, welcome to Hebask Kitchen. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make sweet potato satay Buddha bowl. If you'd like further information about Buddha bowls, feel free to take a look at our blog. Back to today's though, so we're going to need some ingredients. We need 800 grams of sweet potatoes, 3 cloves of garlic. We'll take 3 or 4 tablespoons of oil. Now you can use any oil you like, but I wouldn't recommend using coconut oil because we need to coat everything. Then we'll need 2 teaspoons of rosemary and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, so that's ground cinnamon. Then just some salt and pepper to taste. We're going to have some quinoa, so 100 grams of quinoa, which is about half a cup. So that's 100 grams before it's cooked. We're going to use 200 ml of water with that, so it'll be boiling water, and we're also going to add a teaspoon of vegetable stock to that. And then we need some veg, so we're going to use sweet corn. I've got 200 grams of sweet corn, that's just frozen sweet corn. 2 medium carrots, and enough broccoli for 2 people. So after that we're going to make a sauce. We're going to make a Thai satay sauce. The ingredients for that are 200 ml of coconut milk, so that's about half of one of these tins. There'll be 2 tablespoons of red Thai curry paste, 3 tablespoons of peanut butter, preferably the smooth peanut butter. Then a tablespoon of coconut sugar. If you don't have coconut sugar you can use brown sugar. A tablespoon of soy sauce. You can obviously use tamari if you're going gluten free. To serve, we'll just use some peanuts which we're going to crush. To start with, we're going to preheat the oven, so that needs to be 220 centigrade or 200 fan assisted. We're then going to prepare the potatoes. So we need to peel them. And then just chop them, or dice them rather, so into kind of a centimetre and a half chunks. And cutting them that small will allow them to bake quicker, obviously, and that speeds up this entire process. So once the potatoes are diced, you need to add them to a tray. I'm just using a baking tray. You also need to just either mince or very finely chop the garlic. And again, just add that to the baking tray as well. So as I said, it was about 3 or 4 tablespoons of oil, basically just enough to coat everything. So it's important to put the oil in first before you add the herbs and spice, just so that the herbs and spice will add to that coating. So just give it a good shake around. Just make sure every piece of the sweet potato is coated. Then we can add our herbs and spices. So it was 2 teaspoons of rosemary. You can use fresh rosemary if you have it. It's just not something that we generally keep around. and then a teaspoon of cinnamon. Now this, you can use this sweet potato goes with many other recipes as well. We quite often use it even to make sweet potato fries, so using the cinnamon and rosemary works really well. Then just some salt and pepper. And again, give that a good toss around the baking tray. Make sure it's all coated. Move that all around, so that can now go straight into the oven, and that needs to be baked for 15 to 20 minutes. So as soon as the sweet potato is in the oven, we need to start boiling some water for the quinoa. So I'm actually going to use a steamer today. That's so that we can steam the sweet corn and the broccoli. So I've got my boiling water here. There is 200 ml of water. Basically with quinoa you just use 1 part quinoa to 2 parts water. So let's get this lit. So I'll just leave that covered for a sec just to help that boil. So let's have a quick tidy up. So for the quinoa, I know I said 100 grams, but 100 grams is about half a cup. So what we're going to do is add the quinoa and a teaspoon of vegetable stock powder at the same time. Adding the powder, it just gives gives the quinoa just a nice little bit of flavour, because it's quite flavourless generally. I'm just going to put a teaspoon in. If you're using a stock cube, I'll just use about half a stock cube. So I'm going to drop that in there as well. You could use something like soy sauce if you want. We've used that in the past. Now I just like the vegetable stock, it gives it a nice flavour. So give it a quick stir. And generally that's what you need to do with the quinoa. You can just leave it and don't be worried if it starts to dry up. That's the idea, you just boil it until it's out of water basically. I'm going to cover that up. So while that's boiling, we've got 2 more things to do. That's prepare the veg and prepare the sauce. I'm just going to go with the broccoli. You can save the big chunky stem to make your own stock if you like. This, I'm probably just going to use half of this. This is quite a big bunch. So I'll save the rest for later. Then just cut it up. And then for the carrot, you'll need a plate. I'm actually going to grate the carrot today. And we're not going to cook the carrot at all, we're just going to put it on there raw. Just gives it, sort of retains its crunch. And there's my grater. What I like to do, you don't have to do this, but what I like to do is, I've got a grater that's got different thicknesses on it, so I like to just vary that a little bit. So I'll do one at the thicker size, and then one carrot at the thinner size. Okay, and then just the second one at the thinner size. Just gives it a nice bit of presentation. Okay, that's the carrots grated. So I'm just going to set all of that aside because obviously with the broccoli and the sweet corn, we won't need to put those on into the steamer until about 5 minutes before the end. Okay, so the last piece of the puzzle is to make the Thai satay sauce. Once I've had a tidy up. What do we need now? So get the ingredients. So we're going to use the blender. I'm not going to use this giant blender because we're only making enough sauce for 2 people. So if you've got like a bullet smoothie blender or anything like that, that will do the job. So it's 200 mils of the coconut milk, and luckily this has a little gauge on it, so I can just pour that in. This will probably actually make a bit more than what we need, but it keeps pretty well in the fridge for a few days. I wouldn't risk it beyond that, but that should be enough. So it was 2 tablespoons of the Thai red curry paste. So I'm going to drop those straight in there. So it's important to check the label on these to make sure they're vegan, because some of the brands use fish sauce in them. Now I've checked this. This is the Tesco brand, and they're usually pretty good. So it was 3 tablespoons of peanut butter. I've already measured that out. I'm actually using homemade peanut butter today, which is why it's come out of this measuring cup. I had too much to fit into my jar. So that's in there. So then we need so there's a tablespoon of coconut sugar, or as I said, brown sugar if you don't have access to coconut sugar. And then a tablespoon of soy sauce. Okay, so all I need to do now is just blend that for, it won't take long, it'll probably be 30 seconds. Just bring the blender over. And off we go. Okay, so that's done. Now one thing you could add to that if you wanted to give it a more sort of authentic Thai flavouring is some lime juice, either fresh or from a bottle. We don't actually have any at the moment. We do occasionally add it if we have some though. But that would be just right as it is. So now that that's ready, we can get the broccoli into the steamer. Obviously broccoli is down to your preference. Obviously the longer you leave it in the steamer, the softer it will get. We like to have it with a bit of crunch. So I don't put it in for very long, so just 5 minutes. And then the sweet corn will go in just for a couple of minutes. Because it's been out of the freezer for a while, it's already defrosted, so it will just need a couple of minutes to warm up. So I'll put the sweet corn in now. Okay. So we're now just waiting for the sweet potatoes and the quinoa to finish cooking, and we can start assembling our Buddha bowl. So I've got my bowls ready now. All that's left to do before we add everything to the bowls is just crush a few peanuts up because they're going to go on top. So you can use a pestle and mortar, But I don't have one, so I'm going to use a ramekin and a rolling pin. So all I'm going to do is just pop a few of them into there, so about that much, not many. And then I'm just put my hand over it just so they don't fly out, and just crush them. Just makes a nice addition to just to put on top of the bowl. So that's them ready to add at the very end. So everything's ready. So the potatoes ready to come out of the oven, the quinoa is just about out of water, and the broccoli looks perfect to me. I'm going to start by getting the sweet potato out. So they're nicely baked. I'm just going to give it a quick check with a knife, and the knife sinks straight into it, so they are ready. So all I'll do now is just dish those out between the two bowls. I'm taking some garlic in there as well. So presentation wise, obviously there's quite a lot to this bowl, and the idea of a bowl is that it just piles up. But what I like to do with this particular one is in the bottom just put half sweet potato and half quinoa, and then just pile all the veg on top. I'm going to take this all off the heat now. Just save those for a second. So the quinoa it was just about the right amount of time. Any more time than that would have been sticking to the bottom. It's just about dried up. And it smells, got a nice smell of the vegetable stock in there as well, so that's good. As I said, so I'm going to fill the second half of each bowl with that quinoa now. The rest of the veg, just take the broccoli and just place that on top artistically. And then same with the sweet corn. Same with the sweet corn, just drop that on top and just be sprinkled. And finally the carrot. So it's a good thing, because the carrot's cold, it's a good idea to just put that on the very top so that everything that's cooked will warm it slightly. So all of that is ready for the satay sauce and crushed peanuts. So just pour some on very gently. As I said, this is probably more than what we need, but it's also a good idea just to have it. So you pour it over the top, and then just what's left, keep it to hand so that while you're eating, if you want some more, you can just add it, because it is really delicious. And then just sprinkle with a few peanuts. And that's done, ready to eat. So as I said, if you did want any more information, you can check out our website. Enjoy if you have a go at making it, and feel free to leave any feedback in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed watching. I'll see you again in another video.